Elden Ring has touched me in places I never knew I had. It has easily placed itself among some of my favorite games of all time, yet despite my best efforts, I don't think I can possibly describe everything that makes it great. And that's my failure as a writer. The reason why I started this channel is because I wanted to improve on something I enjoy doing. However, there are times I can't find the right words to express my feelings on a topic. This limitation on describing certain topics is why I don't want to talk about games I truly appreciate. Games like Portal, Kingdom Hearts 2, Nier Automata, and now Elden Ring. I could try writing for hours on end and I still don't think I could come close to describing my experiences on this playthrough, nor how it will make me feel 5 years from now. All I can say is this. This will be my game of the year, and this has been the best game of the 2020s. There are not many games that have come close to how much enjoyment I've gotten from Elden Ring, and I don't think any of those games have fulfilled me for as long as it did. Some people may say it's just open world Dark Souls, and while that may be the case, it feels like something more. Before we even talk about Elden Ring, the genre it's taking place in, the open world game, is a cluttered, fucked up mess. Everything just feeling like a copy and paste of Assassin's Creed 2 and The Witcher 3. Games like Ghost of Tsushima, Horizon Zero Dawn, Shadow of Mordor. These are perfectly fine games, but I doubt we'll be talking about them like we do with Breath of the Wild or Red Dead 2. I think that's because these games stack the same features, bloating their content and taking focus away on their core ideals.
So it's tempting to want to put something for everyone in your game. Right, so you can have an amazing story for immersion-driven players and tons of collectibles for achiever players and PvP for competitive players. So you could do that, right? Some teams do, but the ones that try often fail. And that's because it's really hard to have something for every type of person in your game where everyone will be equally satisfied.
Focus is an important thing in any game, and the more modern open-world games I play, the less I see that focus. But then we have something like Shadow of the Colossus. This game doesn't have crafting, doesn't have hide in a bush mechanics, no roaming enemies you're just gonna pass by. It's just you, your horse, and the giant fucking monster you need to kill. And the game is phenomenal. It's focused on this. The developers didn't make an open world and then gameplay. They made an open world for the gameplay. And then there's Elden Ring. Elden Ring has crafting, sneaking, side quests, roaming enemies, map markers, the whole shebang. The key is that the game gets you to interact with every single part and never wants to waste your time, or rather, it gets you interested. Towers, for example, you don't need to waste 4 minutes climbing up a tower, getting that cool whoosh camera movement with that little jingle in the background. You just walk up to this little thing and bam, you just pick up a fucking map. Like a normal person. But even more important is that this world is dense with content. There are tiny, insignificant caves hidden behind illusionary walls in a mountain that are more memorable than any open world I've played thus far. There are caves that screw up time and space, caves with giant ants, caves that contain the literal embodiment of chaos. It's so jam-packed with side content that rivals only Breath of the Wild, and people have begun to compare those two. These Japanese open world games don't care if you don't get to see every nook and cranny, and because of that, they wanted to ensure that every cranny and nook was interesting. Eventide Island from Zelda, it was this small island out in the distance that a large portion of the community loved, but there was never an in-game reason to go there, just you. It was just this cool island off in the distance and it piqued your curiosity. Elden Ring does this. There is always something to draw your attention while never forcing you. Instead, you felt compelled to do it, and it rewards you at every single point, whether it be items, summons, spells, genuine fun. I never once thought I wasted my time, and if you pursue this exploration, you'll be rewarded with one of the most enthralling experiences a game can give you. And you think that would be the only reason this game is amazing? No! The boss designs are all metal as fuck. You got Godwyn here pulling out a dragon head and making it breathe fire, fucking Rykard being a giant snake, the fire giant tearing off his leg and summoning the god in his belly. Just some of the best bosses you'll ever find in the game, both visually and mechanically. There are some bosses that you want to dig in and learn their combos, and other bosses you just want to be like, fuck, dickhead. Now, some people may find it wrong for me to use summons, and I don't care. You are going to die to some bullshit ways, so it's only fair that you kill these bosses in some bullshit ways. Like, sure, you could learn Margit's combos and waste 2.5 hours like I did, but you could also go explore the open world and stock up on some cool gear, get a summon, and enjoy the fight in that sense. That's fine, because those are the tools that are given to you. There's always been this argument on whether or not these games should have an easy mode. I disagree there. I think there are different games for different people, and when you try to take focus away from a game so everyone will like it, then you begin to alienate everyone. Unless it's Mario Kart. But if they were to add an easy mode, how would they do it? It wouldn't make sense for enemies to just do less damage. Would they get rid of specific animations? Would they just give the player a higher damage multiplier? From Software is more like, oh, you want an easy mode? Sure, I'll give you one. But you need to find it. And that's what makes these games really good. They get you to realize that you're not ready for a specific area, tell you to power up somewhere else, and then come back and wreck some shit. We call this good game design. Other people call it shit. Unfortunately, there are a lot of repeating bosses, and that takes away from the spectacle from future playthroughs, but you can't expect these guys to make a boss like Radahn who jumps up into this beautiful night sky and shoot back down like a fucking meteorite! Speaking of visuals, nearly every moment you're exploring, you just feel in the moment. These serene vistas capture and envelop your eyes, sifting you along its picturesque and repulsive scenery. I try to find a word that describes my feelings on these venues. The closest thing I could find was pictorialism. It is a 19th century art style of making photos appear like that of a painting, and From Software has painted a broken enigma of a world, forcing me to question at every point. Why is it this laggy? This game is really good, guys, and they have fixed a lot of these issues, but on PC, mostly during boss fights, there are these terrible freeze spikes that stop the game completely. This made some of these boss fights unplayable. This is my only true criticism of this game, and like I said, they've already fixed a lot of it, so you know what, fuck it. Now, a lot of you guys are gonna see the 97 on Metacritic, the 12 million copies sold worldwide, and the unanimous praise on YouTube. However, don't be fooled. This game might not be for you. I have put in 10 hours into Dark Souls, 6 hours into Sekiro, and like 2 into Bloodborne. I respect them. However, I couldn't play them. I put in 80 hours into Elden Ring. And that's like on the low end. Like, you can expect this game to be like 100 hours or so. Elden Ring just happened to click for me. It is a beautiful, well-designed, densely packed open world. But it is also long as shit, hard as fuck, and the mechanics and lore are shrouded in speculation and VaatiVidya. But if you think even for a moment that these games are for you, then get it, because there's nothing quite like a From Software game. And there is so much to this game I'm leaving out. I want to go into intense detail on some of these dungeons, the lore, the loathsome Dung Eater, and I don't think I can sum all of that up in 5 minutes, nor an hour. I don't think I will ever be able to properly review Elden Ring.